Welcome everybody to the Jayewellness studio. As you can see here, I am looking again at the suboccipital muscles because I have a great tool that I'm going to be displaying on here, kind of demonstrating. That way you guys can all get an idea of how to loosen those muscles up, because primarily when you're suffering from stiff neck problems and you just can't seem to loosen up around the neck area. It's just starting to just tighten up right before your eyes here. So I really wanted to show you here. So I've already kind of talked about the suboccipital muscles. I won't bore you with kind of a repeat of that, but I just wanted to show you what those muscles are doing and what they look like. If you didn't catch the video that I did about the suboccipital muscles, definitely check that out. I will make it a link on this video so that way you can check it out. But in the meantime, look at all these muscles here. It's not much to see right now. I have a not even a shell of a person right now, but I just wanted to show you these muscles here, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put more muscles on there and show you why this. Okay, so now we got a full person here. We got well, not full person, but we got a somewhat of a whole upper person. So I want to talk a little bit about this muscle, the trapezius muscle. The trapezius muscle, and I've talked about the trapezius muscle quite a bit throughout the years, but I just want to talk about how incredibly important it is to make sure that we loosen that muscle up, because what happens is over time that muscle begins to get so weak, that it just can't sustain all the pressure that our head puts us in. So our head, the human head, is between 8 to 10 pounds, maybe 12 pounds, depending on the individual. But just think about how much strain you're putting on the trapezius muscle and all the little surrounding muscles, the suboccipital muscles, when we don't strengthen this muscle out. Now, a lot of fitness gurus and experts and bodybuilders know how important it is to make your trap muscles, your trapezius muscles, very strong, because you're going to be lifting a lot of weight, and not just to compete, but just in general. I mean, we use our trapezius muscles when we don't think we're using them. I mean, literally just to pick up something, drink a glass of water, or carry a box into our house or whatever. We're using the trapezius muscles to do all of those things. A lot of you think, oh, it's the biceps doing all that. Not really. You'll be surprised how the trapezius muscles are well involved in simple activity. So when you have any straining, anything going on with that muscle, you're going to be in for a world of problems, because that muscle is heavily influenced by tons of things that we do. Now, to get to the point that I wanted to talk about here, and again, stay with me, because towards the end of the video, I'm going to be displaying this device right here. Now, this device right here is going to help with tension in the neck. So a lot of you that are dealing with stiff neck, this muscle is, this tool is going to help with those muscles. It's going to get in there and really actually heal the problem. It's going to heal the problem to a level where you actually feel better and not just a Band-Aid, because sometimes we tend to just, we Band-Aid up a lot of things in our body. We can only Band-Aid up our body so much. So again, the trap muscles here. Now stay with me. I'm going to put an action on this here. Okay, so I have fired up an animation here, and so right now we're not looking at any muscles. We're looking at just the anatomy in itself, the skeletal makeup here of this individual here. So I wanted to show you how, look at how those muscles are heavily influenced by what we do. Now I'm going to have this just moving along. Let me time it a little bit here. So look at that. So I really want to talk about that, because see, our neck muscles, this right here is basically illustrating how important it is. Now we're looking at the cervical vertebrae, but if we added some muscles here, can get him to be still. Hang on. So we add some muscles here. There we go. So now we got a whole, well, still not a whole, but we got more of a person than we had before. So stiff neck is why we're here. Stiff neck is the biggest problem here of having ear-related issues. Having ear trouble has a lot to do with stiff neck. Don't be alarmed when your neck is stiff and your ears are terrible, because they all go together. the muscles in the neck, the suboccipital region muscles, the trapezius muscle region muscles, the suboccipital muscles. When those muscles become inflamed, and because of what we're doing, like you saw the animation tilting over and going back and forth, we do that a lot, and sometimes we stay in that position and we don't move for hours, looking down at our keyboard, looking down at our workbench, looking down at our cell phone, looking down to do a project, painting, whatever it is we do, we're putting a lot of strain. Now, you may see some people have this hump. Sometimes you'll see some people right here, in this area right here. You'll see, let me just highlight it, right just above the trapezius muscle, right in between there, you'll see some individuals have this hump. It's called a dowager's hump. So sometimes when you have that hump there, it's probably a lot of buildup due to poor posture. It's buildup, calcification, issues with that bone. Those bones, muscles, tissues are locking up. They're tightening up. They're forming this large hump there, essentially. And you'll see that in the spine there. When some people turn, you'll see that if they're wearing like a short cut shirt or a V-neck, you can see that hump going over the neck. Well, usually that's a true sign of some individual that is probably looking down quite a bit, not taking care of their posture. And if they don't already have pain and problems from that, then they will certainly have some of that coming their way, unfortunately. So you got to do your very best to make sure to keep your chin up as much as you can. And my problem, when I had ETD and tinnitus and all the works basically of the ear, I was constantly in this position. See, my problem wasn't so much looking down. I did it from time to time. I had people tell me, sit up straight. But my biggest issue was hiking my shoulders up. It was constantly hiking my shoulders up. And I would do it like at the keyboard, I would be looking up. So I was doing the right thing by keeping my head up, but then my shoulders would be elevated. And that doesn't help it either. That doesn't help at all. And so when you have stiff neck, see, I'm going to zoom in here. When you have stiff neck problems with stiff neck, you're going to see this area right here. See, this is the occipitofrontalis muscle. I've talked about this muscle before. The occipitous frontalis muscle. You'll start feeling some pulsating going on in that area right here when you start having stiff neck problems due to nerves sending signals, pain signals, pretty much to the brain, going up around the cranium. Issues with that muscle can send it can be a buildup of the nerves and tissues, just not the adequate blood flow just isn't there. So you'll have muscles with the occipitofrontalis muscle. If I turn this guy around here, you have also issues. The auricular, let's see, not the auricular, the temporalis muscle. I'm going to do a video on the auricular muscle as well, and the nerves and things that have a lot to do with that. But right now I wanted to show you all the muscles that are impacted, but primarily we're focusing on the neck muscles. But just to kind of show you that the neck has a huge influence on all these other regions of our body, of our muscles. Right now we're looking at just the muscle and tissue. I talked about the masseter muscle in my last video, so check that out if you haven't yet. It's called Your Masseter Muscle Needs Help. And so what I'm going to do is I just kind of outlining some very key important parts here. Now, I know I talked about the TMJ joint, TMD. See right here, that's your TMJ, the mandibles right here, and you have your TMJ joint. It's not telling me what it is, but I know that's what it is. But right here, you have your TMJ joint, and it's excuse me, and what it does, it's a smooth surface. So basically, even with neck problems right here, you have neck problems. See, you have the surrounding ear. See the auricular. I can't wait to talk to you about the auricular muscles, because see, look how close it is. But I don't want to throw video topics on top of each other. I want to keep you all focused on one thing at a time, just so you can kind of digest everything all at once. I mean, little by little. So here we go. So we got the stiff neck problem now, and we need to loosen it up, because if we don't loosen it up, it's going to fire a lot of issues to the brain, a lot of issues to all these surrounding muscles. So right now we're looking at just the muscles, and we see how just those muscles of the neck can impact a lot of muscles. The sternocleidomastoid muscle is huge when it comes to stiff neck problems, TMJ problems with the joint, TMD, And so we want to be sure that we keep it well massaged, because massaging it is only going to improve it. It's only going to help it feel better. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to demonstrate this device. This is a six roller massager. You can see there, got 6 rollers on here. And what this does is it hits all the areas here. So remember, we talked about the trapezius muscle, we talked about the suboccipital muscles. All this device does that because it's flexible. So no matter how wide you are as a person, this is going to fit you. This is going to work for you. Trust me. If you got a wide neck, slim neck, thin neck, whatever neck you kind of have, this is going to help support it. So what we're going to do is, we're going to take this, we're going to put it just right here behind the neck. So it's comfortably behind my neck. So I'm going to show you here. I'm going to demonstrate here. So you see it there. And we're going to, the beauty of this thing is, you're just, to really activate this, is literally you're just opening it up, letting it slide, going back in, opening it up to its full extension and going in. Like, that's all you're doing. And it should look like this if you're doing it right. I got a collar shirt on, so it's a little in the way, but you're going to just basically hit the low area of the neck right now. So we're hitting this spot right here where we're at the low portion, which is hitting this trapezius muscle here towards the, not all the way up to the suboccipital quite yet, but just between the trapezius muscle and the shoulder muscles, because, which is the trapezius muscle, would cover a lot of that. A lot of you might not realize that the trapezius muscle is large. It's a large muscle. It goes all the way down the back, not just at the shoulder, but all the way down to the back. The mid back, actually. So look, I'm hitting it here. Trapezius muscle goes to the center portion of the back. So remember, if you throw your back out doing something, you think, oh, it's just the back problem, but look how big the muscle is. It covers a large surface of our body. So when we have issues, we throw our back out, it can fire problems from the mid back all the way to the neck. See, hence why we're talking about it, because we're talking about tight neck. So you just want to massage here. And I would recommend even scooting it up a little. So like right here, you want to scoot it up. So you're a little, see, you're hitting a little bit here over the suboccipital region, just beneath the cranium there. You're hitting this area good, and you're going to keep basically opening and closing these handles here. Okay. Keep doing that. Keep doing that. And you want, I would say, do this trick, use this tool, I would say between 5 to 10 minutes or so at a time. Take a little break, maybe. I don't take a long break when I need it. Some days you need it a lot. So I would take about, depending on what your day is like. Not everyone has time to do this. So if you have a slow day, or even if you're not having a slow day, you could take probably 20, 30 minutes in between, do it again, hit it again, to keep the circulation going, because that's if you can fix the stiff neck, you can fix the muscles in the back, the upper back, the shoulder. You can fix mobility issues. Hence, you probably won't feel dizzy anymore, because if you can fix mobility issues, that's going to help with balance. It's going to help visually. It's going to help with correction of your vision, because you don't realize how lack of mobility and lack of circulation can affect many areas of the body, inside and out. So this is also going to help with your mood. So if you can keep the blood flowing, keep the muscles loose, this is also going to influence how you feel. If you feel loose, you feel light on your feet, you're going to feel better. You're going to exhaust less energy moving around. So you're going to have more energy compiled, compiled with you still. So you're going to be able to sustain energy in a longer period of time, because you're not going to use as much to get from point A to point B. Oxygen is going to improve. And just being light on your feet is always going to make you feel better. Just simply having your neck feel better is going to improve everything I just stated. Right now, you might say, wow, how can a loose neck influence all those things? You'll be surprised how your neck controls is on its way to the controller. Your controller is the brain. So if you can, the higher you go up in the body, the more it starts to influence the brain. you know, a lot of the times influences the brain the closer you are. Not necessarily say, you know, not to necessarily say that your feet problems and leg problems don't influence the brain. But I'm just saying you're in that red zone. So you want to be sure to keep those muscles loose. Again, it's going to help with rotation, lateral rotation of the neck. It's going to really help you feel better. These rollers are not some of the rollers you've seen on the market. They're really hard, really rough on the skin. These are they're not soft, but they're firm. And so they're not going to put marks on you, bruises on you, or anything like that. Just be sure to, you know, if you use it on, you know, open skin like I am, you know, my neck. So you want to make sure to just wipe it down, sanitize it a little bit, give it a little time to air out, and go back at it again. Use it again. Use it often. You can also use this on calf muscles too as well. Put it behind the leg and do the same thing. And you can also use it, I think if I'm not mistaken, you can use it on the low back as well, but most of the time, or abdomens as well. I think you can use it on the abdomen, but you can be you can be creative with it. I use it only for the neck. This is why I use it. I use it for the neck muscles. That's all I need. For my calves and other areas of the body, I have a machine little massage gun that I use for that. So you want to be sure to just do this often. Okay, just go across there, let it get over the muscles here, and that's going to really help. What you can also do is, this is what I also tell others to do. What you can do is put it behind the neck, tilt the neck back, so where it's kind of clamping down on the wheels there, and do it that way too as you lean your head back. So you're creating like a little resistance, that you're getting a stretch while you kind of circulate the area there. So you're kind of putting it on there, lean back, kind of clamps it down a little bit, and then start doing it too. You can do it that way. So that way it's not moving as much, but you're stretching it as you kind of put a little bit of rolling pressure on it, if that makes sense. So it's not going to move as smoothly as it was doing before. It's just going to slightly agitate a little while you're getting your true stretch in. So the purpose of this one is to actually get a stretch more so than massaging it with the wheels. So we're just using it as like a structure. So you can definitely do that. That's going to help a lot. So I hope this is going to be really helpful for you. Remember, referred discomfort and referred pain is really the cause of Eustachian tube dysfunction and tinnitus. It's usually referred out. It's not usually something right there. Like, I can't just take a Q-tip and get it. It's not like that. It's more so taking care of the surrounding areas so that the core can heal. You heal the surrounding areas, the core will heal. And if you continue to do so, it's only going to improve, only going to get better, and sustain healed manner. So you'd want it to be a sustained healed manner. Reason why chiropractor care is not my favorite and not my go-to is because it's like they fix you and you go back to your reckless ways. Now, I'm not judging anybody or saying you're trying to be reckless, but it's like it's not really solving the problem. So it's almost like you have a leak in your car and you just keep putting gas in, but it just keeps coming out. The minute you drive it around for a little bit and come back, half your gas is gone. So you got to fix the problem. You got to get into there and fix the core of the issue. Once you fix the core of the issue, the things you do are only going to sustain itself better, and thus keeping you moving longer, more efficient. It's going to just be a better experience for you. So remember, hit these areas up. It's very important that you do so because it's only going to help you with your ear problem. It's going to help you with all the issues here. Remember that when we do the rollers, we're also hitting the SCM muscle too. So remember, you're right here. You're hitting this area too. When you do that, you're hitting the SCM muscles. The SCM muscles are highly influenced as well. I have similar videos about just the SCM muscle, so I won't go into detail about that one right now. But right now, it's mostly the trapezius, suboccipital, and the SCM muscle. So remember, this is going to be very helpful for you. Do this a couple times a day, 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times a day, or whenever you have time. Just don't skip a day if you can, because the more days you skip, the longer your healing process may be. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, please take time to subscribe to the channel. I try to bring content as often as possible. But in the meantime, I'm going to step out of the Jay studio and leave you in good hands with this video. Like anything else, folks, we're here to simply go back to the basics. Take care, everybody.